when just being budget isn't enough. Hello and thank you for clicking on this video. I'll be sharing my experience on Hidizs' upcoming release, and this is the Hidizs S2 Pro Nebula, which is a single DD IEM that comes with a USB-C DAC that has an ESS9281AC Pro DAC chip that supports MQA, DSD, PCM, and to be honest, I thought any IEM with a USB-C supports that, but apparently it has just a bit more than your typical DSP cable. Anyhow, the Nebula will be released on Kickstarter, and they are already taking notes from KZ, comparing it with the likes of Sennheiser IE900 in their marketing campaign, which is in a whole different category, but at least it doesn't use KZ's tactics to the T. But anyway, before we dive in deeper, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Hidizs for sending this unit in exchange for my honest feedback. However, as always, all thoughts and opinions are my own and are not influenced by any parties. For the unboxing experience is pretty simple, where opening the box will be greeted by the IEMs themselves, followed by the carrying pouch that has Hidizs logo on it, and inside the pouch stores the stock cable, which has this blue and black design in a fabric material, and the USB-C termination showcasing the chip inside. Very simple looking and feeling cable. I like the black and blue, but even though it's a budget cable, at least you have an option to have a microphone on it, which this cable has. The design of this IEM is also relatively simple. You have Hidizs logo on a large round, imagine a coin embedded into your IEMs. That pretty much sums up the design of the Nebula. However, the right side seems to be missing the full engraving of the Hidizs logo, and since this is a pre-production unit, I hope they tidy it up for the final release. It also has a translucent shell so you can see all the wiring inside. Being a single DD IEM, you're also going to get a relatively comfortable experience wearing these, although they are a bit on the large side in terms of single DD IEM scale, but it didn't give me any problems personally during my testing. So you'll be greeted by a red light as you plug this thing in, which is always nice to have some lighting indicators, and just be prepared. Hooking this up to a laptop, I'm about 20 out of 100 in volume max, which means it doesn't take much to power this IEM, which is great, but if you forgot to pull back that volume, you're going to be deaf at first note, so proceed with caution. Also, the microphone acts as a little media player with a single press pausing and playing, and double pressing forwards the track, and at least there's some functionality there. As for the sound of the Nebula, it sounds very thick, which can be a good or a bad thing depending on what you want in your presentation. Bass has that weight to its notes, it's feeling and sounding full and heavy. It doesn't have that much rumble from the deep end, so you're getting a lot of the mid-bass heft. However, it does bleed into the mid-range where it can become the focus, and it does sound like it overwhelms the vocals a little. It does give some warmth to the overall presentation, but it sounds like the singer is losing its focus in the presentation. Air instruments also sound a little bit subdued and pushed back, and there's some harshness in the S's and T's, which helps in terms of cutting through all the bass, but then it's not at the benefit of the overall experience. Imaging, detail retrieval is just okay, nothing that stands out, but at the same time it's not the best in its category. However, to be fair, I'm not sure how much this IEM is going to be priced at, but if this IEM is priced a lot more than the Fine Clean, I feel it's going to be an issue. Speaking of which, comparing it with my current pick for budget IEMs, the Fine Clean. If you want something clean, pun intended, something that sounds more high fidelity, the Fine Clean brings that option to your table. Details coming through the presentation with sufficient highs and bass performance that brings the music alive. Switching to the ST2 Pro Nebula from the Fine Clean, while it does sound fuller and warmer, it also sounds like there's a veil covering over the presentation. There's a bit of muddiness and the details start to get lost within the sound stage. I think regardless of pricing, in terms of sound, presentation and performance, the Fine Clean would be an easy pick for me between the two. So in summary, as much as I like the approach they're going for with the Nebula, unfortunately it's just in a very competitive space, and the tuning of the Hidizs ST2 Pro Nebula leaves a lot to be desired. And if I had a choice, I would honestly save a little bit more and get the MP143 Salt, because I feel like I'm getting a lot more from the sound performance than what I'm getting from the Hidizs ST2 Pro Nebula. However, this is simply based on one man's experience, and I'm curious to know yours. Would you be taking your chances with the Hidizs S2 Pro, or what is your current favorite budget IEM with a DSP cable? Comment below and let me know, and as always, thank you again for Hidizs for giving me the opportunity to test their products. I really hope they can make a small update to their tuning before the final release, but that's just me. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.